Have you ever wondered why honey, that sweet golden nectar, has been revered throughout history? Why is it attributed with almost magical properties? Is it more than just a simple food? And if I told you that honey could actually be a blessed food, a divine offering that holds a profound spiritual secret in its essence, prepare for a revelation, because today we will explore the intricate relationship between honey and the sacred. We will uncover stories, legends, scientific evidence, and mystical interpretations that suggest honey is much, much more than meets the eye. If you have ever been drawn to the sweetness of honey, its sticky consistency, or even the hypnotic buzz of the bees, this video is for you. We promise that by the end of this journey, your perspective on this liquid gold will change forever. Are you ready to discover the secret? So go ahead. The awakening of curiosity. The fascination with honey does not come overnight. It is usually a slow process, like the formation of a hive. Have you ever noticed how bees build their home? They add layer after layer, cell after cell, little by little, until the structure becomes vast, complex, and full of life. That is exactly how curiosity about honey grows. From childhood, for many, honey is always there, present in the pantry. You remember that glass jar perfectly, large and sturdy, with its golden, shiny contents that reflect the light coming through the kitchen window. Back then, it was nothing more than a natural sweetener. Yes, very tasty, but without any great mystery. Grandma used it to soothe coughs, and at home, it was the usual sweetener for tea instead of sugar. It was just another ingredient, something everyday, with no pretensions. Or so one believed, of course. But one day, while researching one of the great passions, such as ancient civilizations, one comes across something that leaves them completely stunned, eyes wide open. They read, and suddenly they find texts that speak of honey not just as a simple food, but as an offering to the gods, as a symbol of immortality, or even as an elixir capable of granting wisdom. Honey? But how could that be? The same sticky sweet that is spread on toast every morning. That's enough to blow anyone's mind. At that moment, it feels like the seed of the deepest curiosity has been planted. It's a turning point. From that instant, the mission becomes crystal clear: to unravel the true meaning of this nectar. What does honey really hide to be so revered throughout history? The search has begun. A journey into the past. Honey in ancient civilizations. The first stop on this journey is the past. A past as vast and mysterious as the pyramids of Egypt. Imagine this. 3,000 years before Christ, the Egyptians already revered bees. They considered them tears of the god Ra, the sun. Can you envision that image? Golden tears of the sun. Honey was used in their funeral rituals, in medicine, and even for embalming. Honey jars have been found in the tombs of pharaohs, honey that after thousands of years remained edible. How is it possible for a food to be preserved in this way, defying the passage of time? This is not just a simple sweet, right? It is something more. Something that possesses a resilience and purity that challenge the natural. Then, we travel to ancient Greece. There, honey was considered the food of the gods, a delicacy of the Olympians. It was said that Zeus was fed honey in his childhood, and that philosophers like Pythagoras and Plato consumed it to stimulate their minds. Hippocrates, the father of medicine, widely used it in his treatments. For the Greeks, honey not only nourished the body, but also the intellect and the soul. Could it be that its sweetness not only delights the palate, but also the spirit, the spark of creativity and knowledge? And not only in the West. Research takes us to India, to the Vedic scriptures, where honey is a symbol of purity, fertility, and prosperity. In Ayurvedic medicine, honey is a fundamental pillar. In Mesoamerican civilizations, the Maya had a deep respect for stingless bees, whom they considered sacred, and their honey was an essential part of their rituals and pharmacopoeia. Do you see the pattern here? It is no coincidence. Across continents and millennia, honey has consistently been elevated to a sacred status, a status few other foods have achieved. And the question that arises is, why? What makes it so special? Is there something in its composition, in its origin, that links it to the divine? The miracle of the hive, a divine parallel. And this is where the research becomes even more fascinating. To understand honey, we must understand its creators, the bees. And my friends, it must be said that a hive is a miracle of nature, an engineering and organizational marvel that defies our understanding. It is a microcosm that astonishingly reflects the order and harmony of the universe. Think about it. Hundreds of thousands of bees working in perfect synchronization, each with its specific role. The worker, the explorer, the guard, the nurturer, and of course, the queen. The hive is not chaos. It is a symphony of purpose, where each individual contributes to the collective well-being. It is an example of unity, cooperation, sacrifice for the greater good. And it is here that the first spiritual connection begins to emerge. If one believes in a creator, in a higher force that orchestrates the universe, isn't the hive a perfect manifestation of that divine order? The bee, in many cultures, has been seen as a messenger between worlds, a bridge between the earthly and the celestial. Its ability to transform flower nectar into something as perfect and enduring as honey, isn't that sacred alchemy? A transformation of the simple into the sublime. Moreover, the hexagonal cells of the hive. Have you ever stopped to observe their geometric perfection? Sacred geometry tells us that the hexagon is one of the most efficient shapes in nature for storage. It optimizes space, minimizes material. This is no coincidence. It is intelligent design, a design that seems to shout, "Here is a higher intelligence at work." The hive itself is a living cathedral, a temple where a divine elixir is produced, the language of honey in sacred scriptures. The journey takes us to the pages of the most sacred books of humanity, and what is found there is the most compelling evidence of the blessed nature of honey. In the Quran, for example, there is an entire chapter, Surah An-Nahl, which translates as the bee. A chapter dedicated to bees. It describes bees as a creation of God and mentions that from their bellies comes a drink of different colors in which there is a cure for people. Indeed, in that is a sign for people who reflect, says the verse. A cure for people, a sign for those who reflect. This goes far beyond a simple sweetener, doesn't it? It is a call to contemplation, to recognize the divine in the everyday. And in the Bible, honey appears on numerous occasions. The Promised Land is described as a land flowing with milk and honey. It does not say a land flowing with water and wheat, but milk and honey. This symbolizes abundance, prosperity, a divine blessing. Juan the Baptist, the precursor of Jesus, fed on locusts and wild honey in the desert. Honey was not only food, it was sustenance in austerity, a symbol of purity and connection with nature. Solomon's wisdom is compared to honey, saying that the honeycomb is sweet to the taste and pleasing to the soul. Sweet to the taste and pleasing to the soul. This perfectly encapsulates the duality being explored. Even in less well-known traditions, such as Hinduism, honey is an essential ingredient in rituals and offerings. It is part of Panchamrita, the 5 nectar drink used to anoint deities. It is believed to attract good fortune and prosperity. Coincidence? We don't think so. When different cultures, separated by vast distances and centuries, arrive at the same conclusion about the sacredness of an element, something profound is happening. It is as if honey speaks a universal language of the divine, a language that resonates in the soul of every human being. Science and spirituality, an unexpected bridge. Now, some of you might be thinking, all of this is very poetic, very spiritual, but is there any scientific basis for these claims? And the answer is yes, and it is astonishing. What modern science is discovering about honey only confirms what ancient civilizations already sensed. Honey is a natural antibiotic, It has antimicrobial, antiseptic, and anti-inflammatory properties. Its enzymes produce hydrogen peroxide, a powerful agent that fights bacteria. That is why it is so effective in healing wounds and burns, something our ancestors already knew and applied intuitively. Isn't it amazing that a food can also be such a powerful medicine? Moreover, honey is a prebiotic. It contains oligosaccharides that nourish the beneficial bacteria in our gut, improving our digestion and immune system. It is a source of antioxidants that combat free radicals, protecting our cells from damage. It is a natural energizer, an elixir that gives us vitality. But here's the part that blows our minds: its molecular composition. Honey does not decompose, it does not rot. Its low water content and high acidity are key to its preservation. It is a food that defies decomposition, the fleeting nature of life. Doesn't this seem like an echo of immortality, a symbol of the eternal? And a key point: honey contains small amounts of pollen, spores, and elements from the flowers from which it comes. This makes it a record of the biodiversity of a place. It's as if every drop of honey contains a piece of nature's soul, an elixir that encapsulates the very essence of life itself. When we consume it, we are not only ingesting sugar, we are absorbing the vital energy of countless flowers, the sun, and the tireless work of thousands of bees. Could this be the blessing we feel when consuming it? Honey in our lives, traditions, and current meanings. Despite living in such a modern world where technology dominates almost everything, honey still holds a very special place in our daily lives and customs. It's curious how, in some way, it remains an important symbol. Let's look at it in more detail. In weddings and unions. Do you know where the expression honeymoon comes from? In many cultures, for centuries, honey has symbolized sweetness and prosperity for newlyweds. In the past, and even today in some traditions, it was believed that if newlyweds consumed honey during the first lunar cycle after the wedding, the honeymoon, they would have a marriage filled with sweetness. And note, it was also associated with fertility. Honey was seen as a wish for the union to be fruitful and lasting, as sweet and sticky as itself. Gifts and gestures of goodwill, a symbol of blessing. Think about it. What do we give when we want to wish someone the best? Often, a jar of honey is a very appreciated gesture. This is no coincidence. When someone gives you honey, they are not just giving you food. They are offering something perceived as pure, natural, nutritious, and beneficial. It is a way to express goodwill, friendship, and a kind of tacit blessing. It's like saying, I wish for your life to be as sweet and prosperous as this honey. It is a gift with a profound meaning that connects with abundance and health. Grandma's remedies, a wisdom that endures. Although now we have pharmacies everywhere and modern medicine has advanced tremendously, don't many of us, when we have a cough or a sore throat, still turn to a teaspoon of honey? Or a honey and lemon mixture? This is because honey has been, since time immemorial, a fundamental home remedy. Our grandparents and great-grandparents already knew about its soothing and antibacterial properties. It is popular wisdom that has been passed down from generation to generation, demonstrating that, beyond science, there is intuitive knowledge about its benefits for health and the immune system. Reconnecting with nature, respect for bees. Recently, you have probably heard more about urban beekeeping, having hives in cities, or the growing interest in local and natural products. This indicates an innate desire to reconnect with nature, with authenticity. Honey makes us think about bees, their incredible work, and the delicacy of their ecosystem. By understanding how they produce this liquid gold, we appreciate the natural order and the interconnectedness of all things. We realize that if bees disappeared, our world as we know it, with its flowers, fruits, and vegetables, would collapse. So honey is much more than a sweetener. It is a tangible reminder of how delicate life on our planet is and how we all depend on each other, from the tiny bee to ourselves. When we care about bees and their well-being, we are not just helping some insects. We are engaging in a spiritual act of reverence and gratitude towards the earth and everything it gives us. It is a way of caring for ourselves by caring for nature. So, after this fascinating journey we have taken together, exploring ancient history, astonishing science, and ancient sacred scriptures, the time has come for the big question. Is honey truly a blessed food? The answer, dear friends, is a resounding and sincere yes, without a doubt. But beware, do not think of a blessing as if it were magic or a complicated ritual to perform. No, it is an intrinsic blessing, meaning it carries it within, in its very essence. It is a blessing born from its pure origin, from how incredibly clean it is, from all the wonderful properties it possesses, and of course, from the miracle of bees, who are its creators. Honey is blessed and will be explained in more detail why. It is a pure gift of nature. Think of the effort and coordination involved. Thousands and thousands of bees tirelessly visit countless flowers, collect their nectar, and transform it drop by drop into this golden food. It is not just a sweet treat that gives us energy. It is a concentrate of nature's energy, the sun, and the work of bees. When consumed, it not only nourishes the body, but also elevates the spirit, connecting us with the vitality and purity of the natural world. It is a true gift, a symbol of order and perfect harmony. Look at a hive. It is a marvel of engineering and organization. Each bee knows exactly what to do, how to cooperate with others for the common good. The hexagonal cells of the honeycomb are perfect and efficient. It is as if the hive were a small universe in itself, reflecting the order and harmony we find in the entire universe. It teaches us about teamwork, dedication, and collective purpose, principles often associated with the divine, healing properties, and the promise of the eternal. Modern science has confirmed what our ancestors already knew. Honey has impressive antibacterial, antiseptic, and anti-inflammatory properties. It helps heal wounds and soothe the throat. But the most astonishing thing is its ability to preserve itself for thousands of years without spoiling. Remember the honey found in Egyptian tombs that is still edible. This resistance to the passage of time, this food immortality, connects us with the idea of the eternal, of what endures beyond the ephemeral. It is as if each spoonful contains an echo of life that refuses to disappear, a universal message in sacred texts. It is no coincidence that honey appears time and again in the most important scriptures of humanity. The Bible, the Quran, the Vedas. It is a constant symbol of abundance, wisdom, healing, and blessing. This repetition across such different and distant cultures suggests there is a universal truth about honey, a meaning that transcends individual beliefs and resonates deep within our collective consciousness. It connects us to the essentials of life. Honey compels us to remember something fundamental, that we depend on nature. Bees are crucial for pollination, without which we wouldn't have many of the fruits and vegetables we eat. Honey, therefore, is a reminder of our interdependence, of how important it is to be grateful for the gifts of the earth. It invites us to care for our planet, because in doing so, we are caring for ourselves. It is a way to return to the basics, to what truly matters. So, whenever you have the chance to take a spoonful of honey, we sincerely invite you to pause for a moment, to see it not just as a sweet food. See it as a bridge that connects us to the past, to the wisdom of our ancestors who already recognized its value. A bridge to the future, to the need to care for our planet and live more sustainably. And a bridge to the divine, to the beauty, order, and intelligence present in all of creation, from the largest to the smallest. Honey whispers an ancient secret to us, a secret we sometimes forget, that the sacred is not only in towering temples or in a distant sky. No, it is in every drop of dew, in the fragrance of every flower, in the tireless hum of a bee, and yes, in every spoonful of this sweet and blessed nectar. It is a tangible reminder that life itself, in its purest and most natural form, is an authentic blessing, and that we are surrounded by miracles every day, if only we take the time to observe, feel, and taste with awareness. So the next time you come across a jar of honey, you will not just see a food. You will see a miniature universe, a millennia-old story written by nature, a message from the divine wrapped in sweetness, and a sweet reminder that we are part of something much larger, much wiser, and much more blessed than we could ever imagine. And so concludes our passionate immersion in this fascinating topic. Dear explorers of knowledge, truly, I sincerely hope that what we have shared today has opened your eyes to new perspectives, to what, frankly, most people do not understand about this profound mystery. If what you've seen and heard has resonated with you, if it has sparked your curiosity or simply left you wanting more, I strongly encourage you. Subscribe to the channel. For me, your presence is the driving force behind all this, the fuel to continue unraveling the mysteries that surround us. Every week, I take on the challenge to bring a new adventure in knowledge, and I don't want you to miss a single one. And of course, I would love to hear what you think about all this. Is there anything that has particularly impacted you? Maybe you have a different interpretation or a story you'd like to share. Leave your comments below. To me, your contributions are pure gold, the true debate that enriches what we do. Together, we create a space where ideas flow and curiosity is celebrated. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for your time, your attention, and the courage to delve into these topics that sometimes stir us inside. Until the next adventure, may the pursuit of truth always guide you. See you in the next video.